It's typically possible to purchase tickets and have a tour of Buckingham Palace, including the throne room. I think there's something surreal about standing in the seat of power for an entire kingdom. But I've got a better deal for you. Now, before we get to that, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert, where getting you access to throne rooms is just one of the many services that we provide. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. So now grab your cup, lift it up, and let's begin with today's lesson. Though typically on a short pause just now, due to the recent passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, one expects that the regular tours of Buckingham Palace will resume in due course. So, if you're willing to part with £30 per person, you can spend a couple of hours touring the royal residence. Now, backpacks and luggage aren't allowed. You're not moving in. There's no smoking permitted, nor is photography allowed in any of the official state rooms. Naturally, don't expect to have a chat with King Charles in the throne room, because if he's in there, you won't be. And you're not getting anywhere near the throne. Oh, and by regular tours, I mean for the 10 weeks during the summer it's open, so don't plan on dropping in any old time you're in London. Of course, there aren't too many other castle tours with official state throne rooms you're going to find, so you should consider taking advantage of this one if you're able. But today's verse offers you an entirely different throne room experience and says, "Let us draw near with boldness to the throne of grace." Now the Lord has established his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom rules over all kingdoms. According to the Bible, his throne is its massive white throne that's placed in the temple of heaven. The prophet Isaiah saw it, and also saw the Lord seated on his throne, high and exalted. The train of his robe filled the temple. And there were angels, all of them having 6 wings and flying back and forth and calling out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. All the earth is full of his glory." And at the sound of their voices, the doorposts and the thresholds of the whole temple shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. Stop and consider the majestic pageantry of this place. Isaiah was immediately convinced he was doomed. He cried out, "Woe is me! I'm ruined!" When John, the writer of the book of Revelation, was confronted by his vision of heaven and the throne, all of his strength left him. He collapsed at the feet of Jesus like a dead man, and he wasn't even in the throne room yet. When John finally entered the throne room and saw God seated upon it, he was overwhelmed. Flashes of lightning, massive rumblings and peals of thunder came from the throne of God. John also saw the angels flying and calling out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty." He describes much more, but we certainly don't have time to go into the throne room of heaven in detail this morning. But you've never seen such awesome, raw power and majesty focused in one massive place. And neither have I. It's absolutely mind-numbing. It's staggering and overwhelming to the extreme. What's my point? Listen. It's into that throne room God is inviting you to come boldly. Boldly. Because you're not a guest or a visitor. You're a child of the King. You're part of his royal family. You didn't get access because you paid £30 and got a colored wristband. Oh no. The price of admission here, it's much, much higher and paid in blood. But it was already paid for you when you were received into the royal family. Let us draw near with boldness to the throne of grace. Yes, his throne is a throne of grace. Remember what that means? Think of it like an acronym. GRACE. God's riches at Christ's expense. He's making you like him. You too are holy. Hey, backpacks and luggage aren't allowed in this throne room either, because every burden has to be laid down at the foot of the cross before you can enter. There'll be no emotional baggage to carry here. You won't be smoking here either. That's the other place. Photography is unnecessary because you're always welcome. Come back anytime and enter boldly because there's no restrictions. You're not going to be limited to 10 weeks in the summer. Jesus has opened the way for you to come when you will. Oh, and there's one more thing. The King is in the throne room. And you're definitely invited to come close. Hey, as we wrap up this morning, can I ask you to help me bring other people to the throne room too? Help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and help them get to know him and his word personally and better. Please like this video to help more people see it. And then click follow or subscribe so that you and I can get together every day. I'll bet you've got questions on the throne room of God. Drop them in the comments section. I'll answer them. And one more thing. Share this with a friend, please. As you do, you're part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.